So we've got lots of clouds in Scotland, but not usually indoors like this one. This gives us a great opportunity to see what clouds look like close up. Clouds play a really important part in our weather. They give us rain and they control how much sun gets to us and therefore how hot it is. The question we're going to answer is, how do clouds form and why does it rain? To answer this question, we need to understand that the heating effect of the sun causes water in our lochs and rivers and oceans to turn into gas. When a liquid heats up and turns into a gas, we call this evaporation. So all this water gas is carried up into the sky by hot air that's been heated up by the sun. As it rises up higher and higher, it starts to cool down. So let's do an experiment to find out what happens when this water gas cools down as it rises. So I have a balloon here that's filled up with normal air. And what I'm going to do is put it inside here, which has got liquid nitrogen in it. And liquid nitrogen is extremely cold. So let's see what happens to the gas inside this balloon when we cool it right down. So you can see what's starting to happen straight away is that the balloon seems to be shrinking. And that is because the air gas inside this balloon is condensing or turning into a liquid. When we take a gas and turn it into a liquid, we call it condensation. So let's see what happens when we take the balloon back out of the container into this nice warm room. It's all crushed up and I can feel the liquid air inside here. I can feel it sloshing around, but as soon as we bring it out into the room, it starts to heat up and the liquid air starts to evaporate and turn back into gas air. Condensation and evaporation are opposite or reverse processes. If you heat a liquid up, it turns into a gas, that's evaporation. If you cool a gas down, it turns into a liquid, and that's called condensation. So the water from our lochs and rivers and oceans is heated up by the sun and it evaporates into a gas. It's carried up high into the air where it condenses because it cools down and hangs as billions and billions of tiny droplets of water in the air. And we see these as clouds. The water droplets don't fall back down to earth straight away, and that's because this warm air rising up from the earth is keeping them up in the air, and this balances out the force of gravity that wants to pull them back down to the earth. Let's have a look and see an experiment that helps us understand this. Here we have a beach ball, which I want you to think of as a tiny droplet of water, okay? And we've got a leaf blower here, which is going to act like the hot air rising up from the earth. So let's see what happens. So these billions of droplets of water are just hovering up there in the clouds. But when they clump together and get heavier and heavier, the force of gravity takes over and brings them back down to the earth as rain.